the way that we live is not for everybody. We're going to run and put our bodies on people in a violent manner.
I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she fly for him, the shawty is the winner. You can tell that shawty's
You know what time it is. It's time to come out.
I love the way she move it, shake it on me.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here. We have the Washington Commanders live stream, and today live stream we have two special guests. People, we have some great gentlemen with me today. People, they were so welcome and kind to invite me on their show. I just knew I had to return a favor. They're lit over there on Instagram. Just hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. We got none other than Reedy and Z holding it down. How y'all doing, fellas? Appreciate y'all for stopping by today.
What's up, bro, man? We appreciate you for inviting us on. All is well.
Yeah, no question, bro, man. It's an honor, man. Like I told you before, I've been watching you for a while. Love what you're doing, man. It's an honor, man. Appreciate you for having us on.
Definitely. And like I said already, appreciate y'all for having me on first. Just doing what I got to do to return the favor because y'all are some great people. And let's start that up. Just hit 1,000 subscribers. Talk to me how that feels. The journey of hitting 1,000 and obviously crossing that threshold in the season where our Washington Commanders are having a real chance to go to the Super Bowl.
It's actually it's very exciting, man. You know, I mean, we've been around for about our third or fourth year. So, you know, I mean, we're not really new to the podcasting lane, but we kind of had some bumps and bruises as far as growing on the YouTube side and then actually having a year of like full consistency. So this year, definitely, we started out very intentional about, you know, planning and making sure that we be consistent throughout the year. And it's been up for us. So we definitely appreciate the love from all the subs, all the people on Instagram side, everybody that's just showing me love, even the community. You know what I mean? This community, we've been able to connect and grow with individuals within. And like we always say, we are all about for collabing. And, you know what I mean? It's just no better, you know what I mean, to be on your show today because, you know what I mean, like Reedy said, you one of the ones that's been around for a while. You've been doing your thing. We watch and follow you. I even got one of my childhood barbers, like every time we get on your show. I mean, you know what I mean? We do a collab. He's like, man, my man won. So, you know what I mean? People out there, they see you, they see us, and it's definitely a great feeling. So, much appreciation.
Yeah, and to second what he said, man, it feels great because I mean, when we came into this landscape and we kind of, you know, you don't really know the game. You don't know, you know, what you got to do, what you don't got to do. And we kind of were like focusing on the Instagram side of it. And you know, running that up, and we was kind of like let YouTube be on the back burner. But like he said at the start of the year, we said, man, we got to focus on this YouTube to grow this thing on there. Because yeah, it's fine that you're getting clicks and likes and shares on Instagram, but you know, YouTube is the way it's at. So just happy to finally be here, and it seems like we're just growing, and you know, a lot of more people are just, you know, finding our content and just, you know, showing us love. So from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate everybody. And like I told you before, man, it's an honor, man, because like you, like one of the first YouTubers that I came across, like when we were, you know, mulling the idea of doing a podcast. Because like I told you before, we do this every day, like for years, just sit here and just talk ball about this team and bitch and gripe. So why not do it? Why not do it with other fellow fans? You know what I'm saying? So it's up.
Nah, definitely, and I appreciate that, man, for supporting for so long, and finally, you know, getting the traction that y'all deserve because y'all put in great content on Instagram and YouTube, and to finally see it taking off in the year where our Washington Commanders is taking off. It don't get no better feeling than that. Again, I started back when we were down at the bottom, so imagine just getting on. That's what I always tell people, like, just imagine constantly coming on talking about this team in 2019 with Dwayne has, because I put all my faith into Dwayne has. May God rest his soul. I put my life on the line for Dwayne has because that was the year, you know, Daniel Jones got drafted to the Giants, and Giants fans was giving me the business the whole offseason leading up to that season about how much better Daniel Jones was. And you know what added salt to the wound? To see that Bama end up having a decent career. Although we knew he was trash, he somehow just always survived and beat us. So it was definitely some rough times, some high moments on the channel. Don't get me wrong, but as a personal fan, because that's what we all are at the end of the day, as fans of this team, it was definitely rough. So to see our loyalty finally pay off, man, it is definitely a great feeling. So let's actually talk about these boys, man. First things first, I do want to start with talking about just quickly this season as a whole. Coming into this year, we knew it was a recalibration, as Dan Quinn wanted to say. Bring in Adam Peters, bring in Dan Quinn, draft Jayden Daniels with the second overall pick. Talk to me what your initial thoughts was to this season, and could you even thought that this was a possibility? Any one of y'all could pick it up.
Yeah, for me, initially coming into the season, me and Z, we talk every day, 50 times a day. I see something here, I see something there, and I'm like, did you see that? Did you see this? Did you see that? And initially, when we decided to bring in Adam Peters, we knew that was the person that we wanted from the get-go, but we kind of varied in the coach that we wanted to necessarily bring in. I don't necessarily think I was sold on Ben Johnson. Z was sold on him. I kind of didn't think that he would be able to bring the other pieces that we needed as far as coaching staffs and really can he get it done? Like, yeah, he was that shiny new toy that was out there, that offensive genius, that person that, their offense is electric, but can he do the other intangible things that you need in a head coach? Because when you're a head coach, you can't just worry about the offense. You can't just worry about the defense. If you're a defensive head coach, you can't just worry about the special teams for the John Harbaughs of the world. You can't just worry about this. It's a lot of stuff that you have to manage. And it's also being a motivator. And he just didn't give that for me. And then the idea was floated out. I said during the season, there was a video that was posted on Instagram of a security guard and was like, she was asking him, are you going to be our head coach? And he was just doing his normal jog that he does every game. He runs the steps or whatever. And he was like, huh? He was like kind of like taken back by it. He was like, yeah, but I don't think he really knew what he was saying in the moment. And I've always said that Dan Quinn is a great coach. And we needed somebody with that type of experience. So I was kind of sold on Dan Quinn, but then, everybody on the outside world was kind of, you kind of drink the Kool-Aid and hearing what everybody's saying. Oh, we need to go get Bobby Slook. Oh, we need to go get McDonald. We need to go get this person and that person. And you're like, I don't know. I
think your mic cut out.
Can you hear me? You hear me now?
You go. Yeah, you back.
Can y'all hear me?
Yep, you good.
I can't hear y'all.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can't hear y'all.
Z, you want to take over while he fixed that?
Yeah, I'll take over.
Yeah.
So pretty much on my end, yeah, like Reedy said, Ben Johnson was one choice for a coach. Going in, I knew I didn't want Caleb Williams. So it was just like, all right, we got to get Jayden. Reedy kind of, hit me and put me on to Jayden. I'm not really, when we do the college draft analysis and stuff like that, I made it my business. I said this year I'm gonna be intentional, but the years previous, I really wasn't really, really locked in on that side of it. So I heard of Jayden and all that, but I wasn't really watching a whole lot of them. And really like, nah, y'all gonna like that. So as I started to build on that, I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah, Jayden, I want Jayden. Then the off season came, free agency and all that, even before we got Jayden. We starting out. You start getting certain players and everything like that, and I'm like, oh, damn, we having this type of turnover, 30 to 40 new players. The first person we signed was Zach Erskine. I'm like, what the hell is Zach Erskine? I knew I wanted Bobby Wagner, stuff like that, but still in your mind, you like, man, all right, we need to make some hits. We got this cap space. We need to do something. But Reedy also sold me on Dan Quinn, and he was saying that Dan Quinn is a leader of men. So I kind of took that and did my studies, and once the season started, I'm like, all right, this is where it's at, locked in with training camp and all that. So everything's going well. But just overall expectations when the season started, having conversations with Reedy, he's like, yeah, man, we're going to do you think we're going to win like 8 or 9 games? And I'm like, nah, slow down, Reedy, just go week to week. You know what I mean? We going game by game. I ain't making no predictions, no nothing. So as the season going along, you know what I mean, you kind of see the success we have, and we like, oh shit, we got something here. I still didn't expect it to be NFC Championship. You know what I mean? You like, man, all
Yeah.
right, we might go make the playoffs. All right, cool. We might sneak a game. But now you talking about 2 playoff wins and the game before the Super Bowl. It's like, wow, like, and it's just it surprises me. It surprises me game by game how well Jayden is, well rounded he is as a rookie. You know what I mean? You seen how sharp he was in training camp if if you went out and saw those things, but also they didn't show us a lot. But you always heard, man, he doing this, he doing that, he able to do anything. And now you kind of see it, and it's like they're continuing to unleash more. And it's like, damn, this Philly game coming up. No, you might see something you ain't seen before. You know what I mean? He might go throw 6 touchdowns this game. You know what I mean? He might really put on. So the sky's the limit for sure, man. It's just like I felt like we draft well. I felt like, you know what I mean, just watching the behind the scenes things of the Commanders log. They showing how, with the draft picks and excitement with AP and Dan Quinn when they was making those picks. I'm like, yeah, they locked in. Also, after that, just to kind of see everything kind of fold out, the plan itself fold out. It's a beautiful thing to see. I'm happy to be a part of it, happy to be as dialed in as I am. And this is up, man. It's a hell of a ride. It ain't gonna stop now. We got a game to win Sunday, and we got a Super Bowl to fight for after that. So that's where I'm at with it. It's up.
Yeah. Sorry about that, fellas. I had some technical difficulties, but yeah, like I was saying, like, so I wasn't necessarily sold, but when they decided to hire Dan Quinn, I was like, all right, we can work with that. And I thought we was maybe gonna go 9-8 or something like that. I did not anticipate this being in the NFC Championship game, but I did say before we went on this run, I said, bro, we argued back and forth on our show about the Eagles game because he was giving them all of this respect, and I was just like, nah, bro, like we can beat them. Like he was kind of giving me the vibes like he was nervous or he was scared or like they was just like unstoppable, and I was just like, nah, bro, we can do something with them. But I didn't think that it would be to this point, like he said. But I definitely thought we can, knock on the door, squeak in the playoffs, and do that. But yeah.
Yeah, nah, definitely, man. I remember like we were in the hiring process. I was away during this time, but before I had left, I was all over Bobby Sloak. I was all over Ben Johnson because I'm like, we got the number 2 overall pick, so I want to marry an offensive mind with my quarterback. So I was all offensively based. And then when I saw that we hired Dan Quinn, I was like, man, what? Because like originally, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, that defense in Dallas was so good. So I'm like, man, Dan Quinn don't want to become a head coach again. He cool, being one of the best defensive coordinators in the league. You know what I'm saying? Probably gonna be well compensated for that role. I didn't get the feeling that he wanted to be a head coach again. And then when he went out and hired them, I ain't gonna lie, I immediately said, okay, Al Hurst, I need you on this staff. Michael Parsons, I need you and down the pipeline. Come to watch. Like I was trying to pull all they good players away with Dan Quinn. But again, you immediately saw in the press conference when I eventually got to see it, which was months later. You seen like how intentional he was and what he meant and how much he's been waiting for this opportunity, and to immediately have the success that we're having. It is surprising to how far we have had it, but it's not surprising to how quick it is because he was not playing. Adam Peters came in, got free agents that we maybe questioned at the beginning, like a Zach Ertz, as you mentioned, or other guys, but it's like you see that they're playing key contributing factors as to why we're successful right now. And Cliff Kingsbury, offensive coordinator, some people even questioned that. And it's just like it reminds us now, like, hey, sometimes we can have a take on it, but sometimes these are the reasons why these guys get paid the money that they do to do what they do, because at the end of the day, they know more. But overall, I had us winning 11 games, but it wasn't because I thought we were going to just blossom into this that we know today. I was just playing like the schedule game and saying Washington was going to be, good enough to win some of these games. But again, it was not to the extent of this. This is absolutely insane how quickly it has came. And I don't know if it quite hit me yet until yesterday, because although I knew we were going to the NFC Championship, last night I was on Instagram on the NFL page, and they had like the 4 potential matchups for the Super Bowl, and they had Eagles, Bills, Eagles, Chiefs. And then when I swiped over to the Washington section and I saw Terry McLaurin's face versus Travis Kelce, I said, bruh, we actually can go to the Super Bowl. Like, what is this right now? Like, how is this even possible for a fan on the younger side that has witnessed nothing but like just trash? So, like, at what point did it hit you guys immediately after we beat Detroit, which we're going to talk about that here in a second, then Philly, but did it immediately hit you guys that we are 60 minutes away from from going to the Super Bowl, or like has it still not quite sunk in that the fact we could be hoisting a Lombardi in less than a month?
I say for me, it's definitely like it's kind of like an in and out thing. Pause. Like I'm up and down. I'm in my moments where I'm just sitting there like, all right, cool, we got to beat the Eagles, but it's like, dog, we beat the Eagles, we're in the fucking Super Bowl. Like, wow, you know what I mean? So I'm having different moments when I'm sitting there thinking. I know for Reedy, he could tell you it's nonstop in his head. Like it'd be 1 a.m. He's sending me content links. Man, make sure you watch this. Check this out. 2, 3 in the morning, I wake up. I see more texts. 6 in the morning, top of the morning, bro. This is so like I know for him, he's keeping me into it. I got a lot of other things going on at home that kind of gets me away from it, but it's definitely on my mind, and it's just like, wow, we really could be in the Super Bowl. We're a game away from the Super Bowl. Like I have never witnessed that. You know what I mean? Like we always say in '91, you know what I mean? I was 4 or 5 years old, so you know what I mean? I can't remember that. So for this, it's like, wow, it's up. So I'm excited.
I mean, for me, I don't really, like you said, I don't really think it really sunk in until last night. I'm sitting there, contemplating these tickets and stuff like that. I was just like, I was cool with not necessarily going to the game, but then in my mind, I was like, bro, you gotta be in the building. Like, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I was 6 years old when they won the Super Bowl. I started playing football when I was 8 years old, so I don't even know if I was really caring about football at that time. But it's surreal. Like, it's just like I feel like I'm in a dream. Like I'm about to just wake up and they just tell me something else. But it's just amazing. Like, bro, like it's like, I don't know. I can't explain the feeling. Like I was talking to my friend, he's a Ravens fan, and I was like, damn, this is what it feels like to literally like be in the mix, having the opportunity to play for this type of game. Like it's surreal. Like you said, we're 1 game away from being in the Super Bowl. Like that's crazy. Like crazy. Like we got fans that say, "Oh, y'all the dead skins, y'all this, y'all that." I never in a million years would think that we would this year be 1 game away from being in the Super Bowl. So yeah, it's just surreal. Like I don't even know like how to put it into words, really, bro. Like it's crazy.
And one thing I will add too, it's not only that, it's really looking at it and saying, damn, this is the worst we're gonna be.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
right
this
there.
is like, if we got here year 1, Jayden year 1, and year 1 of this new regime, like, wow, this is we about to really take off and be a dynasty. So, man, it's crazy.
I mean, you hit it right on the head, man. You hit it right on the head. I say that every single day, and I look at it every single day. This team is at the top of the league in cap space, like one of the top teams with the most cap space. You see DJ Reed hyping up the Commanders every single day. You hear Micah Parsons, who I think secretly wants to be a Washington Commander. Like it's so obvious, bro. It is so obvious he wants to be here in the burgundy and gold. Like you see all these players just hyping up Jayden Daniels and hyping up the Commanders, and you can't help but just imagine like what a T. Higgins would do here. What a trade for a guy like Garrett Wilson or Trey Hendrickson or somebody that is going to be a game changer guy. Like this is literally the worst we're going to be, and we're having a chance to win the Super Bowl. I really can't fathom like what more. I'm not gonna say what more do I want, but it's like it feels completed in a sense if we win a Super Bowl, even though I know it's not because we have more years down the line. But it's just like, bruh, if we're doing this in year 1, what does year 5 look like? Like, what is year 6? Like, it's so crazy how fast this has happened. But look, it couldn't have happened to a more deserving fan base. Like, for the years of I know you guys go to the games. So like for the years of going to the games where we're dominated by the away team. I remember I went to the Jacksonville game back in 22, and I'm like, bro, it's that many Jags fan in the DMV. Like, since when? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but now at the Atlanta game, you guys have pretty much all the home games, but at the Atlanta game, I say that every single time. I said that about the Titans game. So fair. I say that about every single game I go to this season, but the Titans game was super loud. The Atlanta game was electric with the extra, lights out thing, but during the game, it was just insane. So like this fan base has always been top of the top. We were the gold standard back when you guys were, younger and stuff like that. And to see that pretty much taken away from this area and see how impactful we really are, because the second that we're back good and it looks consistent and sustainable, we're no longer a sleeping giant because the giant has awoken. So just speak to me about this fan base and just how deserving this fan base is of a 1-year turnaround.
Go ahead.
I mean, this fan base is deserving of it all. Like, just even my generation, like we've never seen nothing like this. You know what I'm saying? Like we've watched this team, that team come in and be great. We've had great players. We thought great coaches come back. Even Gibbs comes back and we couldn't get it done. So like it's just big for this area, the DMV period. Like we have the opportunity to build a new stadium and go back to RFK, some of our grassroots, and then for us to have the opportunity to potentially win a Super Bowl this year, that would just be big. Like, and I had conversations with Z all the time. I'm like, why we ain't never on Hard Knocks? Why we ain't never on this? Like, so we couldn't spend a 6th-round pick to get this person and that person. And now that I sit back in this moment and I think about it, I'm like, it was all worth it. Like God's plan was God's plan. Like what he has for us, he has for us. And prayerfully, like, man, it's just going to get bigger and bigger. Prayerfully. We stand grounded. You know what I'm saying? We haven't arrived yet, but if we can continue this success, it's up, bro.
Yeah, for sure. And definitely for me, like I can remember back as a kid, one of my first games was Redskins versus Arizona. And I remember that's when they had David Boston back during that time. So, that was RFK. I remember RFK days. And RFK was lit. Like you go in there, the seats, they're loose and stadium old and all that. And, but it was definitely, they always talked about how the stadium get to rocking when the fans get excited. So I remember that a little bit, but, going through the many years of, how, like you said, Joe Gibbs came back. It was like super exciting. We get Sean Taylor, everything going on, and then he dies. I remember the day, when he died, I remember I was in college at A&T, walked into the student union and seen it on the TV and just sitting there looking at it like, damn, and like really emotional about the situation. Then to come after that, we had some down years, and then we get RG3. That's, right before that, that's kind of like around the time I came home from college, and I'm a young professional at this point, so I can pay, get my own tickets. So I'm going to more and more games, And you seeing RG3 just taking off, like that run against Minnesota, like how that electrified, FedEx. And I remember the Giants game. It was cold as shit that game, but me and my uncle, we was in the club level, and I just remember like the excitement and like, damn, we have a team, and then just to have it ripped away from us like that, with his injury and the poor management of that whole situation. And then, to come back after that, and then, you had the Kirk Cousins situation where we felt like, all right, and even I even tell Reedy today, like I'm super hard on Kirk Cousins, and I did it. To me, I always felt like he was overrated, and I still think he overrated, but I feel like during that time, we really underappreciated him. I feel like if we would have rallied around him and just simply accepted him, if they would have paid him and all that, we would have had more continued years of success. Everybody talk about Gruden and the poor job that he did, but man, our offense was one of the top offenses at that time. We went to the playoffs. Me and Reedy was at that playoff game against the Packers. And you know, I mean, you seeing us kind of, it was low key slightly a shootout in the beginning. We was going back and forth until, you know, their defense, you know, I mean, kind of stopped us, and Aaron Rodgers was Aaron Rodgers. You know, what I mean, so, and just to backtrack before then, we was at that Seattle playoff game. So like we've been at some games and seen some key moments and experienced those things, and then to come right back out of that, you get real Ron Rivera, and I ain't gonna lie, Ron Rivera came. I'm super excited. I'm like, man, we got a leader of men. Ron gonna change the culture. You know what I mean? That man, Dan Snyder finally got it right. He out the way. He gonna let, you know what I mean? He gonna let him run the ship. And then, you know what I mean? We ended up making the playoffs. It was like 7-8, 7-9 a year, something like that. And it was a little excitement. You think you gonna bounce back out of that and really do something, and then to come out of that and we was still some shit. You know what I mean? And then see how horrible that was and how that ended. And it all leads to now, and it's just like, man, you know what I mean? This young dude and Jayden Daniels is lit. He's sitting in this job and this role of being not only the franchise leader quarterback, but kind of like being a savior to our whole franchise, our community. And like he's just embracing it, and he's, you know what I mean, he's loving it. He loves the challenge, and when he talk about it, yes, he always thanks God, but he also talk about like how us as fans deserve it. So it's like I really appreciate him for that, but also just the organization as a whole, not just Jayden, you know what I mean, because it starts at top with Josh Hurts, you know what I mean, having the mindset and to, you know what I mean, not being so egotistic and allowing other people to do their jobs, putting people in place. Like he came in and hired Bob Myers from the Warriors to give us some championship concepts to show how the structure of an organization, and bringing in Magic Johnson, and then you going, you know, from the whole structure down, Adam Peters, Lance Newmark, pulling people from different places, and even down to the coaching staff. You know, DQ ain't go out and just go get his. Ron went out and hired all Panthers, his ex-Panthers guys. DQ pulled guys from all over the league. You know what I mean? We got Cliff, we got Brian Johnson as an assistant. You know, you got Anthony Lynn, who was the head coach. You got Ken Norton on the defense. You know what I mean? You got really some key, solid coaches. And then out of that, along with him being, like we saying, that culture guy, that player-centric guy, he really knows that, you know what I mean? Like he said in this conference when he first started, he went back and evaluated himself and, you know, got feedback from everybody who he dealt with. And he sit back and he's trying to right all those wrongs. And it was like, it's a hell of a plan. And, you know what I mean? It shows today, you know, how we were able to get to that point. Like, it's just, like I always say, it's a beautiful thing to see. Like, that's the best thing. That's the best way I can phrase it. It's just beautiful. And it's heartfelt. And like I put on that post, watching that hype video that the media team put out. Like, I literally was 1 o'clock in the morning sitting on the toilet, teary-eyed. Like, damn. Like, you know what I mean? Then that was just after beating Tampa. So it's like, the Detroit win, it ain't really hit me like the Tampa win hit me, because it's like, all right, now we got more work to do. But it's just like, wow, like this is really us. So it's up, man. We deserve it for sure.
Yeah, man. I mean, you just said it all. You know what I'm saying? From being in these big spots to losing it all to having a selfish owner that's sitting there telling the guys that he hired to put in position to draft this specific player. I don't care. Yeah, and then to get Ron Rivera and thinking that we had somebody, to him not knowing we could be eliminated in the playoffs, to finally getting over what Ben Johnson say, a bunch of basketball guys, right? Yeah. And they clearly did it right. It's just so surreal. But we got to talk about the on-field now. You got to start with 5. You alluded to it, Jayden Daniels. Yes, he is the savior of this franchise, because there have been countless quarterbacks that we put our faith into. And granted, everything around him wasn't good, but this guy, everything around him isn't good, and he's still finding ways to be playing at an MVP level. And I first want to start by saying this about his playoff debut. Throughout the whole week, you've heard, oh, okay, he's a rookie quarterback. This is his first playoff game. He may have some type of ups and downs. This may be the rookie moment that he finally, you know, turns into a rookie, and he goes out there and continues to play. Like, he literally, if you listen to him talk, Five don't really like the media, but he's going to tell you the truth and how he feels. When this man says it's just another game, that literally what he means, bro. Like, he goes out there and doesn't put too much into it, just goes out there and plays football, and he has so much fun. Oh, he throws an interception, still smiling. He throws a touchdown, still smiling. Jalen Carter tried to jump off sides or knock the ball down and cause a fumble. Smiling. Like, this guy just enjoys playing the game, whether it's good or bad. And that's the kind of guys that you want to be around and the kind of person that you want leading your team. So the fact that he went on a road to beat Tampa was just, good in itself for the franchise, really. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of on the flip side. Like, that Tampa victory, I expected to win, honestly speaking. And it was very good because it was the first playoff victory that I've experienced in my life. Granted, I was born around the time, I was alive in 05, but like, I wasn't watching football, so I don't remember Sean Taylor, spitting in the face of Michael Pittman and winning that game. Like, I don't remember that, but to get the first victory was really, really special. But this Lions game was more special for me because it's the way we did it. I mean, did you guys hear? I had the clip up here, but I'm pretty sure you already done heard all the things they were talking about throughout the weekend. This is the chance Detroit has the first time to host the NFC Championship, and we're 60 minutes away from a Super Bowl. You think we're going to stop that? And if Jayden Daniels wants to run, I don't care if we have to get a 15-yard penalty, but he's going to know this, that, and the third. Like, they were the Lions fans was the reason why I started to become bullish. At first, I was going to respect them and give them their flowers and stuff like that, and put them on this pedestal because they were the 1 seed. But once they started to talk all this mess and started to drag on us, man, I'm like, you know what, man? No, I'm gonna do the same thing. Nice. And my whole entire mentality switched literally the second I saw that. So the whole week I said, bro, you know what? We're going to win this game. I doubled down and I started putting some bets together. On the betting websites, and there are some Lions fans out there that came into my chat. I ain't go looking for them. They came to me, said, we're going to beat y'all 47-3, and I'll tip you $40 if we win. Still ain't get that $40, by the way. I haven't seen the Lions fans since we beat them. But, it was just like, bro, you know what, bro, we're going to win this game. Even though I felt like we were going to win, and I'm pretty sure you guys did too, did you expect it to be like that? 45 points where we took it easy. Could have put 50 up on them. But 45 points defense, creating 5 turnovers. Talk to me first before we move on to the Philly game about your reaction to this essentially blowout, because they got some garbage time yards and stats, really.
Man, we had went to the watch party in College Park, and it was just electric in there. Like you said, I didn't think that the outcome was going to be the outcome. I was thinking it was going to be, if we can, I kept saying, like my keys before, I was saying, like, if we can get 5 stops or 4 to 5 stops, we will be fine. But we got to continue to score the football. We can't kick field goals, because I'm respecting them. I'm giving them the ultimate respect. They're 15-2, the best offense in the league, just electric. Like, the weapons that they got over there is just insane. Like, I'm just like, bro, I don't know. We're going to have to figure it out. Everybody going to have to come ready to play. And like you said, it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way too. Like, once they started popping all of this shit and saying this and saying that, I'm like, bro, we didn't forget that -2-3 years ago, y'all were the bottom of the barrel. So, when did y'all become the next, y'all really there? I mean, y'all got to the NFC Championship game last year, but y'all laid an egg and y'all lost. So when did y'all get so confident? I'm thinking, I'm talking to Z, I'm like, when did Detroit start really getting fans? Because I only know 1 or 2 Detroit fans. Like when did y'all get so popular? Where did y'all come from? Wasn't y'all a franchise that used to wear paper bags over y'all faces in the stands in the Calvin Johnson era? I remember that. We haven't forgotten. So then, like you said, I got bullish on them, and I started saying, F them, you know what I'm saying? It's whatever. I'm going to be humble and just, okay, get an opponent they respect. It's the playoffs. Everybody's good at this time. You know what I'm saying? But when they did that, I just was like, nah, man. But in that moment, in that sports bar, man, it just, like I said, it was electric, and it was just like, bro, we could do this, and we just kept going and going and going and going and scoring, and just the interceptions on defense. And in my mind, I'm sitting there like, wow, like they really got these guys like here, like ready to play, like not caring about nothing, no worries in the world. Like they not scared of them. Like I knew it, the Tampa game, like we were going to win. I knew we were going to win, but I don't know if I was technically sold all the way that we were going to win this Lions game. Like I was confident, but you know, in the back of your mind, you thinking like, well, you know, we play, you know, we conditioned to kind of think like that, like we ain't supposed to be here because it's our first year. You get what I'm saying? So it was like kind of them type of vibes. But in my mind, I'm like, yo, we could beat them if we do this. And they just came in and they just did everything that I asked them to do and I expected them to do. So it just was like, it was just crazy, bro. Like crazy.
Yeah, and definitely, you know, what I mean, leading up to that, this was another game that, you know, we watching the prices, we trying to see if we can carpool and possibly hit the game and all that. And it just, you know, what I mean, ended up not really working out. And then, you know, the weather that they was talking about, all that stuff. But so you know, what I mean, we definitely decided. I'm like, all right, let's go to one of these watch parties because we normally we the type we superstitious. We like to sit in our basement. We don't like distractions. We don't want nobody in our ear talking no wild shit or no whether it's our fan or another fan. Because some of our fans be talking wild and don't know football sometimes. And if you watching a game with somebody like that, it's really gonna make you be like, oh, fuck that. Or like, you know what I mean, make you like want to knock somebody out in a sense, or just be bothered. But it was just like, man, all right, let's just go be in a mix. It's gonna be good. You know what I mean? Let's just go. So we went. It was lit. You know what I mean? Then the first play defense came out, you know what I mean, striking. Foul on the first play, tag on the backfield. I'm like, okay, we might be on to something. You know what I mean? We get the ball, offense go down. We end up missing the 4th and 1. And I'm like, man, we ran that play too much now, Cliff. Like, call something else. So even in that moment, I'm still kind of on the fence. But as the game kind of went along, in the fight that was in the team, it was like, all right, yeah, you know what I mean? For me, it wasn't until probably like the second time we scored, oh yeah, we can really win this game. Like we playing way too hard. Then to go, you know what I mean, before the Quan interception, I was, you know, shout out West. I'm sitting with West and we watching and West was like, right after we scored, West was like, man, we need a pick six here. And goddamn it, the next play, Quan caught the pick and it went pick six. And I'm like, oh shit, like it's going up. And then, you know what I mean? Then, you know, right going into the half, at that point, it's like 31-21. They trying to drive down the field, and Mikey caught the pick in the end zone. So I'm like, oh, yeah, it's lit. So it was definitely exciting. And even some points throughout that game, though, I felt like for me, I don't want to like I said, you know, I've been through the ups and downs with these teams. So I feel like I've seen it all. I haven't seen us reach this far, but I've seen it all as far as like getting overhyped and over, you know, in my head, I'm like, I don't want to get too hyped and say we winning, like chill. People coming over here, man, we like that. We won. I'm like, chill. It's too much time left. I've seen some crazier things. Just chill out. So it wasn't probably like towards the end. Once McNichol scored, it was just up from there. You know what I mean? I was still on the fence a little bit, but I had that great feeling. And then the Bob just getting hyped. And then all we do was win, came on. We just in that joint. If y'all, you know, Instagram, check out our page. We got the content from it. And we just in that joint lit nonstop, just partying. It was just up, man. It was a great feeling. And it was exciting. You know what I mean? Then, you know, after that, you get home, you can't go to sleep. You up looking at all content. You know what I mean? Like 2 a.m, just going through your phone, looking at content. So, yeah, it's on a natural high. My wife, she's an Eagles fan, so she had went out that night for her birthday. But when she came back home, I had just like dozed off, and she like, so yeah, I won. I mean, basically, like she knew we won, but it's like, so yeah, I won, huh? And I'm like, you know damn well, you know we won. You seen it. And so she's like, oh, so y'all ready? Like, it's whatever. You already know. It's up now. Like, because, you know what I mean, with the rival and everything. And for me and her, we go to every Commanders Eagles game. So it's like, for this one, too, it's just, man, we doing whatever we can to try to be in the building. It's like, I can't go without her. Like, we got to, like I said, we got to rival within our own household. So, it's up, and I'm excited, man, because it's like, what better way to make it to the Super Bowl, beating these motherfuckers? So
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's icing on the cake. So we gotta handle business, and I think we will. Like Terry is you know what I mean, he's stepping up and being a leader. He always been a leader, and they talk about the leader he is, but he's been way more vocal, and they showing it. You know what I mean? That speech he had in that tunnel, like I felt moved. You know what I mean? None of this money mean nothing. When all this money gone and all this fame gone, what's your name gonna represent? What's your legacy gonna be? You know what I mean? I know I'm gonna give it all. What y'all gonna do? So it's just like, man, that's him. Like, just to backtrack a little bit, when he caught that hitch, took and split them defenders, the blocks, and took that thing to the house and gave Joseph the stiff arm, it was just like, oh my God, like it's this. That's why I said this team has reached another level. You know what I mean? So, yeah, and I think we got, and Dan Quinn has said it all year. There's another notch. Y'all haven't seen it yet, but there's another notch. So like everything Dan has been saying has been manifesting, and it's just, I mean, I just feel like the whole we are in great hands. What's up?
Yeah, to add what he was talking about, like, so I'm turned up by like the first quarter. I'm fried. I'm in there going crazy. I'm with the fans. I went to go sit at the bar because I'm like, Zenon was at a table like in the corner. I said, man, I gotta be by the bar. I want to be in the mix, like with and just party with everybody. I'm gonna bounce back in between, but by this time I'm fried. So I'm like, bro, I gotta start. In my head, I'm like, nah, it's too early. It's too early. We gotta chill. It's a lot of football left. Going into that half, and then by that time I'm drinking water. I'm not drinking nothing else. I said, man, I gotta be here for it. I can't crash out. You know what I'm saying? So by the time when we win the game, I kind of come down, but I got a headache. It's just screaming. It just was like bedlam in there. Like I'd never seen nothing like it before. It just was so happy. People was in there hugging, and it was a few people crying, shedding tears. I ain't gonna hold you. I had to like stop myself. I was like, not this game. Nah, chill. Like I had to like hold it back. But yeah, bro, like it's amazing, bro.
And just to say, but like we hoist that Lombardi, tears will be flowing out. I damn near cried week 3 when I realized we had a quarterback. So you already know when we hoist that Lombardi, bro. Oh yeah, trust and believe. Some tissues better be by because I'm be up all night. Where we at? We down U Street. We out VA. Where we go? I'm outside. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't the type of person to party or anything like that. But trust and believe, the Washington Commanders winning the Super Bowl will bring that out of me, bro. I'm telling you that if that happens, man, that is insane. But no, quickly about that watch party, they had a couple people this past week tell me about the college. He's like, man, yeah, I always go out College Park for the games, man. It was insane. It was lit. He's like, the last time I went, I couldn't sit down. He goes to all of them. So he went to the Tampa Bay one and this past one. And I was like, dang, man, you know, normally I watch it in the crib, you know, whatever. So I'm like, dang, man, maybe for this, I might gotta go somewhere if I can't, because I found myself looking at some tickets as well. But I had this crazy idea where I was like, you know what, if I can't go to the game, what if I went down to Philly and just watched it in their territory? But I said, no, that ain't a smart idea.
But we said the same thing.
Yeah. If we can't get in the game, we definitely going to
Xfinity right across the street.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but the thing is about me, I was just gonna go by myself out there, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know Philadelphia, you know what I'm saying? Right. So I'm like, that's probably not the smartest idea, but boy, how would it feel on a football level to be in a town and you continue the success? Because bro, we're on a road for all this. Tampa Bay took over their stadium. Detroit, I mean, that's what a lot of people I really hope this game made people realize, yes, this fan base is really back. Because all throughout the week we heard, and granted, it was like that, but all throughout the week we heard about how we're not going to be able to take over Detroit, this, that, and the third, about how the Lions fan base is that ruckus. And you hear, I was a video on TikTok where our fans is chanting Terry. He's right there behind us. So I'm pretty sure he heard it. But like, if they weren't chanting Terry, like you could hear a pin drop in that stadium. So we rode deep, man. And that was just so exciting. I think for me, it really hit that we had a chance or really was going to win this game was that Quan Mine pick 6, man. Like, that Quan Mine pick 6 was so huge because they were up 7-3 at that time. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I believe they were up 7-3. I could be wrong on that. But they were up 7-3. And and they could have been driving to go down and put more points on the board. I could be wrong about that, but that's what I did.
14-3,
Yeah, and let's call it what it was, man. That crowd was insane in the beginning of the game. So they go down, go up 14-3. I'm not saying we don't shake back, but it's definitely a different gut punch feeling to be down 14-3 instead of 7-3 getting a turnover to flip the game around. And then the second biggest play, because I know a lot of people say that the game changing play was the Dorrance Armstrong, fumble, which it was. Trust and believe it was. But for me, the turning point was that Mikey Sainristil picked right before half. Because if they score anything, field goal, touchdown, that's a one-possession game. And their mindset is completely different going into the locker room. So that Mike Sainristil pick was insane, bro. And just like, that's the thing we need with this defense is we obviously know, especially for the remainder of the playoffs, we're at a disadvantage because talent-wise, we don't have it all. But if we can make teams turn the ball over in key moments, that is going to be the winning recipe, at least for the rest of this season. Obviously, we know Jahmyr Gibbs, outstanding. It was pissing me off, but I knew it was going to happen. But he was getting 12 yards of curry before he even getting touched. There was one play where we had David Montgomery in the backfield, and somehow he just bumbled for 10. And I'm just like, what's going on? But I knew that was going to be the case. But I said, look, they driving the ball down the field. They can do that. But at the end of the day, they got Jared Goff as their quarterback, man. He's going to do something stupid or we're going to make a play in which we did. That's all. That's the name of the game. Of course, let them get their yards. They get paid just like they do. You know what I'm saying? So they're just as talented as our team. So, or if not better, clearly better. They're going to go down the field, but if you can step up, who's going to step up? Quan said, I got it. I said Quan had to play at all-pro level going into this game. He was a big X factor in whether this defense was going to be successful in slowing down Detroit's offense. Doing something, we wasn't really getting pressure how we was early. Frankie Louvu, I challenged him. I said, Frankie, what Frankie been at, man? Like, where's that Frankie Louvu that we had early on in the season? He said, I'm right here. Putting Jared Goff in the blue team. He lit him up. They tried to cry and say, oh, it was a dirty hit. Nah, get out the way. Get out the way. This playoff football right here. Get out the way. He lit him up on the block. And if anything, before we continue, if they want to cry about flags, Kirby Joseph dirty. They was hitting Jayden Daniels late out of bounds. It was one play where I think Jayden Daniels, like after one play, he stood over top of him or like he pushed him down, something like that. We was like, hey, bro, what is you doing? And like it was either Nick Algreedy or Andrew Wiley who was like on the same type of time. And so like it was just like the fact that we went in there, brought the fight to him, like and just kept pouring it on. Like they had no answer for Jayden Daniels. And even the fourth down conversion where we failed, guys, I in the moment, I'm just like, y'all, because I'm thinking it's a QB sneak. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing? But it came out that it was supposed to be a Jayden Daniels, like Marcus Mariota was supposed to take the snap and pitch it out to Jayden Daniels on a sweep, and Brian Robinson supposed to be the lead block. I'm like, let's do it. Like, now, I would have loved to see that play pan out because, like that is just some great play calling right there. But B-Rob messed it up. But I'm just like, on one hand, I wanted to see it play it out. And then on the other hand, I'm like, damn, because now we can't use it again. Maybe we could, but I don't think we're going to get away with it. But just to see that play out would have been absolutely amazing. Just to see, like, Jayden Daniels be an actual tailback right there and, like, B-Rob being the lead blocker. That would have been so fun to see. But that was, like, the only time where, yeah, they stopped us. And just to see, like, the freaking aggressiveness on the level. We took Detroit's game plan and made it our own, constantly going for it, not having an answer to stopping us. And then defensively, just matching it. This is the first time this season where we've seen both sides of the ball play complementary and both sides, holding their own. So I really want to shine some light on Mike Sainristil and his defense, fellas. So talk to me about how impressive this defense was last week versus Detroit and just overall shining some light on those guys in Joe Witt Jr. because they deserve it.
Yeah, like I mentioned, from the first play, the defense came out striking. They set the tone pretty much. When we did the kickoff, when we did the coin toss and we deferred, like, okay, defense first. Okay, let's see what's gonna happen. And then, we actually came out and, like I said, set the tone. That was on point. It was right exactly what we needed. And then I think the offense is going to be the offense. All year we've been able to pretty much move the ball. But with the defense doing that, it just added that extra the extra fight, and then to be able to create turnovers. You know what I mean? With Dorrance with the sack fumble. You know, I think Frankie picked that one up, and then what was it, Quan had. I mean, Mikey had two. Quan had one, and then Chin ended the game with one. So, you know, with the overall 5 turnovers, that's giving the offense opportunities. So with 4 of those, because Chin's interception, we ended up kneeling. But, you know, with the other 4 turnovers, we was able to score off those. You know what I mean? And it was putting us in great position. So it definitely helped the offense a lot. And I think that it just finally clicked. Like, man, we get the offensive ball back to 85, gonna do what he need to do. You know what I mean? He's gonna lead the offense down, and you know, guys is gonna step up. So I think it, like I said, it set the tone overall, and it just, you know what I mean, we just played right into it. And I think that's the same thing we're gonna have to do this week.
Yeah, to shine a light on the defense. I mean, shout out to Joe Witt Jr. He's been preaching all year. The ball is life, and to come away with 5 turnovers in this game. I think at one point in the game, it was like 17 points off of those turnovers that we were able to convert. That's big. That's pivotal. And what a great time to really start getting these turnovers, but in the playoffs when it matters the most. As we have already alluded to, playing that complementary football in all 3 phases of the game, offense, special teams, and defensively, they go hand in hand. But I want to shine a light on this on this special teams group. They come down and we're purposely like leaving it short so they can keep the ball and play on the kickoff return and stuff of that nature. And these guys are coming below, and these guys are coming down just making tackles at the 20, keeping them in not favorable positions. Like, I think the average starting position in the NFL this year was like the 27 or the 30 on kick returns. So that's, you know, you're taking away 10 yards potentially in starting field position. So I think that was just like pretty big, and just like a rookie to come back home to Detroit. And Mikey, shout out Mikey, say what up though. And to come away with 2 picks, and like you said before, Quan Martin, like, to come up with that pick 6. I thought he was going to get caught on that play, but he found a way to get to that end zone. Man, it's amazing, bro. But we definitely got to continue that type of play, setting that type of tone, that type of intensity against this Philadelphia team. We got to come out and play as we played in the second half of that game in Week 16, and I think we'll be successful. And like I said on our show, like, Cliff, you need to dial that shit up. Like you spoke on the Marcus Mariota play that should have been the pitch to Jayden Daniels, like coming out with the trick plays and stuff like that. That would have been the second gimmick play we had all year. So I'm pretty sure that Cliff is known to have tricks up his sleeve. So what a better time than to pull it out in this game, and I'm just here for it, bro.
No, definitely, man. And I love the victory, the celebration after the game. You know, you see Terry walking in, which we assume Terry is mic'd up because he had the NFL Films, clip. And y'all already brought it up, the fact the pregame jump where it's like he talking his talk. Terry's really become vocal this year. Like, you got so many viral clips. Like, he's always been, in my opinion, like, emotional and you really gonna let you know, but he isn't never the one to start it. Like, I think my earliest memory of Terry really barking at somebody was when Trayvon Diggs, his rookie year, was talking crazy and he blessed them for that deep ball touchdown. Jay Alexander, he always talking this stuff. But like this year, you see versus the Bears, I forgot what he told, bro. I forgot what he said specifically, but y'all know he was telling them like, you ain't nothing, etc. like that. Like, just talking his. Yeah, like, he was just like, Terry, man. I love Terry, bro. Like, this is like, it's like a next level that was just unlocked, because he was a quiet guy, really ain't saying too much, but now it's just like, bruh, like, he's always dropping the F-bombs. He say, I'm tired of them talking about. He's talking about the Eagles. This was the Week 16 game. I'm tired of them saying the division go through them. Now they go through us, like that, saying stuff like that. And then the this past week versus the Lions, bro, like you said, he's like, man, when this fame, money gone, all this, what are they gonna remember you for? I know how they gonna remember me. I'm going out like a dog, like, like, it's just like, let's go, Terry. You got me fired up. Like, I can suit up and play, man. And it's just like, the crazy thing about it though is that's that mentality. Like, Terry, for the one Terry that it is out here, it's a million of those in that locker room. Like, I'm pretty sure Terry's talking like that who Bobby Wagner, like these guys all feel that, and it's a brotherhood, as they say, and that is nothing short of amazing. Before we obviously move on to the main topic here, we're gonna have to talk about the Philly game, keys to victory, and then we're gonna shine some light on the comments here in a few minutes. But we already talked about Mike Sanders still in his defense, but Diami Brown. I'm gonna always bring that up to people from now on, man, because they was giving me the blues a couple months ago when I made a video and said we're wasting the talent of Diami Brown. Like, I knew he had it in him this whole entire time, and to see it finally happening and blossoming right here at the biggest stage of it all, man, it's just crazy. Like, hey, granted, 5, man, you can't place a ball better than that. That deep ball, you just put your arms out, catch it. But to just have that kind of big of a play, a couple other great catches, because he did have one drop early on, and it was like, dang, like that was huge early on. But other than that, he caught everything else. You know what I'm saying? Posting a picture, kind of clapping back at Amon-Ra St. Brown for his comments 2 years ago. Like, dude, we get it. You're going to name the 1 million people that was drafted in front of you for the 1,000,000th time. You think Tom Brady does that, bro? Like, we get it, bro. Okay. Diami Brown was drafted ahead of you. Then to clap back at him for that, to have a big game in Tampa, man. Diami Brown has finally arrived, and I don't think it's enough to necessarily put me off I want to address the wide receiver 2 position, because I genuinely still want to go out there and address that position. But I do think it solidified him for the wide receiver 3 position. Talk to me about Diami Brown specifically, how impressive his performance has been in this postseason. And do you see him being here as like maybe a number 2, or did you still want to address that position in the offseason?
I call him playoff Diami. The best time to come alive in the playoffs down the stretch. Noah Brown went down, and we were looking around like, who's going to fill that void of, because it's been a conversation all year of we don't have a number 2 besides Terry. Like, where are we going to get that production? But week in and week out, different guys step up in different key moments. So why not us? Why Diami's like, why not me? And then Diami gets on Instagram popping his shit. Like, pop your shit, Diami. It's coming full circle for you, bro. Now I don't necessarily think that Diami is a number 2 for us. I still agree with you that we need to go out and solidify that number 2, or get a 1B type receiver. I want Higgins. If we could possibly bring him in, or another receiver. But I don't think that Diami will be a guy. I think Diami is a guy that we could possibly re-sign. Because I don't believe that he's going to garner that much money on the open market. He is a free agent this year. So, I mean, he would be one of the people that I think we could bring back. But just talk about this, like, we as a fan base kind of like we're second guessing Adam Peters on this wide receiver room in the beginning of the year, because we're like Jamison Crowder, McCaffrey, Noah Brown. We're like, well, why don't we go get this person or go get that person? But he knew. So you got to give a shout out to, Adam Peters, the man, the architect that put this thing together, and Dan Quinn and his coaching staff for coaching it up, because every week it's somebody different making a play. And I think that continues in these playoffs. But Diami, I wouldn't be opposed to bringing him back.
Yeah, I say on my end as well. Diami is definitely one of them guys that I always wanted to, kind of flourish and kind of take off and, take the position to a storm. Especially when we started out this season after trading Jahan, I went off like, fuck, we gonna trade Jahan, and I expected a lot of things from Jahan. I thought Jahan would have been a great in this system with Jayden. I'm like, how the fuck we gonna trade him, and then we don't go get Ayuk? Like, what are we doing? We didn't even go. We didn't even make another trade to compliment. I kept saying, what's the corresponding move? So then we began to talk. Well, who's the number 2? It's like, okay, is it going to be Diami? Diami all offseason. Every offseason, it's Diami season. He's posting these videos, catching the football, he's looking like that, all this stuff. It's like, yeah, even beginning of the season, we be like, you see your man? Like you said, we call 50 times a day. You see your man? Your man, Diami made a post. I'm like, yeah, I seen him. Like, every year is Diami season. What are you going to do? So we kind of go into the season, and I'm hoping the best for him. And he started out slow. You know what I mean? On our show, we calling him out for it. Like, what's going on? Like, you're not gonna take this by storm. Like, you having drops. You ain't really stepping up. What's going on? Then we, you know what I mean? We ended up going to claim Noah Brown. Like, damn, Noah Brown just gonna walk in and take the spot. Like, what is going on? So, you know what I mean? We kind of still playing that through our head. And then Noah Brown goes down. Then they go get KJ Osborne. Like, now they got another guy. Well, Diami, where are you at? You know what I mean? The Browns game, he caught that bomb. And okay, we see you, Diami. And you know what I mean? It just seems like, and then after that, he kind of took a little dip in this game. But I feel like with the continued reps and everything going on, he actually he stayed down. I commend him for. I never did not believe in him, but I just kept wondering, like, so to see Diami flourish in these playoffs, it's super exciting to see. You know, what I mean, it's just like a uplift off of his back. And you know, Terry even talked about it. Like, Diami puts in work. He works hard. He's very deserving of, you know, everything he's receiving right now. You know what I mean? And if you think about it, you know what I mean, Diami is one of those guys that's been here through the storm with Terry. You know, this is Diami's 4th year. So, you know what I mean, he's been around and he's seen some things and he's, you know what I mean? So I was just excited to see him succeed. But then, you know what I mean, like, to that level, the other day, it's like, you know, over the last 2-3 games, this man been leading the team in receptions, yards. He's doing this thing, and it's really dope. And he definitely deserved it to see him, like we said, clap back at St. Brown. You know what I mean? It's great to see. As soon as he even put that, I seen, like, I had just refreshed the timeline. It was like posted 2 minutes ago. I'm scrambling, trying to hurry up and be the first to put it out, make sure I post it and give him his praise. And I was hyped when he clapped back the other day. If we looked on there, all the players came in and just pumping them up, like, yeah, Diami, pop your shit. Crowd that was like basically F these VANs, and he was just going on it, like, everybody just commenting, just hyping them up. And it's just like, all right, you see the brotherhood, you see these guys coming in, they like, yeah, like, it's great to see for sure. And I think that, you know what I mean, moving forward, if he continues to have success, I mean, I feel like what he's done this far gives him, you know, a chance to come back. And then it just all depends on if another team jump out there and throw him the bag, then you gotta slow down and consider that, because you're not just gonna go throw a whole lot of money at him. But you know what I mean, if it's a fair deal and some you can bring him back, I would. You know, I still think we need to go get another receiver, whether that's, you know, drafting somebody in the 1st round that gives some competition, or, you know what I mean, or T. Higgins. You know what I mean? I would love a T. Higgins, but then you got to think how much T. Higgins will cost. You know what I mean? We can't just dump all this money into a receiver room where we need an O-line, we need another edge rusher, we need a corner. You know what I mean? So it's other things. We definitely need a receiver, but also we got to be smart about it. And you know what I mean, I'm confident that AP is going to make the best decision. You know what I mean? We may question it, but that's why it always seemed to work out. So he let Manny walk, he let Dotson walk, he let, you know what I mean, a few of these guys walk in. They ain't really doing nothing else with it. So that's why he been on point. So I trust. In AP, I trust.
Definitely, and Adam Peters, we all trust. I mean, like you already mentioned, bro, he turned Jahan Dawson to a 3rd-round pick. He traded Sam Howell for, you know, a pick in which, you know, he probably wouldn't get that now that we've seen. Yeah, now that we've seen him turn out to where he is today. But I think Diami has played his way back on this roster. I think he's going to be back. And like you mentioned, Terry McLaurin getting choked up at his presser when talking about Diami just tells you the kind of connection that they have. Terry always believed in him. Another 3rd-round pick to a 3rd-round pick. So I think Terry sees himself in Diami. And not to mention, he plays a key factor in this team, not just because of what he does when the ball in his hands, but he's our best wide receiver in the run blocking game. I mean, did you see him on that Terry McLaurin touchdown pass? What he did right there, he's always in the mix. And he's the only guy. Like, I love Terry to death. I really do. But I would put him ahead of Terry in the terms of stretching the field. Like he's our top end speed kind of burner guy, and Terry could do that too, as well as we seen in the Dallas game, and then obviously last week. But he's our guy that I want, over top stretching the field on these deep post routes and on these 9 routes. This is what got him drafted. Him and Sam Howell did so well at Chapel Hill, so I think he's gonna be back. I think we still address the wide receiver position, and man. As Reedy already said, this is the best time to be going out. Like you haven't done nothing much of your 3 years here. But to be showing out in the postseason, it's the best time. He's giving me Gabe Davis vibes from a couple years ago. Remember, Gabe Davis had that miraculous postseason with the Bills, and we thought, oh snap, Gabe Davis may turn out to be the next guy next to Stephon Diggs, and this is what Diami Brown is reminding me of, man, and good for him, and I'm hoping he continues the success. Shout out to Brian Harder. What's going on, Brian Harder? Appreciate you for stopping by. I haven't seen your name in a long time, BH. What's up with you, man? Glad to see you still around, and hell to them Commanders, y'all. So, all right. Last thing on the Lions game before we start to talk about the Eagles game, keys to victory, and then we'll get to the comment section. You see it behind me. Win it for Sam. Everything wasn't all good last weekend as we lost the soldier, man. Sam Cosmi, who was going to have a big impact on Sunday's game because Jalen Carter, that dude is an absolute little monster, man. But Sam Cosmi, dog, it sucks because he's one of the guys that tells you what it is in the media. He's one of the guys that wears his heart on his sleeve. I mean, I go back to last year where he was literally pleading. Y'all remember pleading through the media to run the ball. He tells us how he feels. The Ravens play a preseason streak. Oh yeah, we're gonna end that. You know what I'm saying? The week leading up to this game, the crowd noise is going to affect us. We're going to be ready for it, man. We're good, etc. Like, he's a guy that you lean on, you know what I'm saying? Because he is one of those guys that is a leader of this locker room, and he's been here through the ups and downs. So him, Terry Diami, Jonathan Allen, Tress Wade, Deron Payne, Jeremy Reeves, all these guys has been here through the downs. You want these guys to reap the benefits of this success. And if we hoist the Lombardi, Sam Cosmi is one of the first guys that I want holding that thing up. Now, he ultimately still is going to get the opportunity to do that if we win. But it definitely is different knowing that you played in the Super Bowl and contributed. So when I found out that he tore his ACL, man, it definitely hurt me. And then reading his post, it just definitely got me more emotional. Obviously, we're losing a great player. Don't get me wrong. That is an important factor. We're losing a player that is outstanding. But more so than the player, we're losing a person that deserves this, man. So talk to me about, the loss of Cosmi on a person, human level, and then obviously a football player level. And how do you think we, go without that? I've been seeing two different things. Shout out to Trent Scott, stepped in pretty well last week and didn't really give up a noise. But this is a different beast we're talking about, in Jalen Carter specifically. How do we go about that? I've been saying, move in Wiley to guard and then have Cole Luke play tackle, or we go straight up to how we already have it. So either one of you guys could pick it up on there about, Sam Cosmi and how we move forward.
Sam Cosmi, that's a tough loss. Since Brandon Scherf, one of the best offensive linemen, minus Biotish that we brought in here. Tough loss. You can't necessarily replace a Sam Cosmi and what he brings, especially in the run game, specifically. But like you said, it's going to be a next man up mentality. Hate to see him go. Like you said, it's nothing like having an injury, like, before you get to the show, possibly, or even just in the NFC Championship game, just being here for that turmoil that we saw throughout the Ron Rivera era, being drafted by, that regime, and, it coming full circle, him able to get his deal and to, be a quality, a top 10 guard in this league. So you really can't necessarily replace that, but the show must go on. So Trent Scott, whomever steps into that role, I'm pretty sure OG Bobby Johnson is going to have them ready. And shout out to OG Bobby Johnson, because that's another guy that was brought here from the Giants, and we weren't sold at all. Like, he was getting so much heat in the media for how trash their offensive line was last year, and this is that and the third. And when they went out and got him, I was like, what? Like, this guy. But this offensive line has been a bright spot for us all year. Not the biggest name guys, not the unit that you would think would be dominated, not a solidified unit, but what they have been able to do this year has just been great. And shout out to him for what he's done and what he's brought to this team as a coach. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I don't know if I necessarily agree with bumping Wally down into guard and then going with Lucas at the right tackle because I don't know if Wally can hold up at guard. And like Jayden Carter is a monster. And that whole front is a monster. Like it's going to be tough sledding against that whole defensive front. And we're just going to have to be, we're going to have to be on our shit. But I will say that Scott did a great job coming in, spelling Cosmi in that game in Detroit, and hopefully he can continue that. But it's going to be a challenge because like one of my keys is like Jayden Carter and Zach Vaughn. We got to know where they're at all times. Those two, we cannot allow them to wreck this game. So that it's going to be tough, but.
Yeah, like Reedy said, Sam Cosmi, you can't replace. Since being drafted here, he's been solid for us, and he's definitely, to this point has grown to be, if not our best alignment, pretty much. So it's definitely going to be, it's tough to see him go down. He's one of the leaders of the team. So definitely, wish him the best with his recovery and, emotionally and physically. Especially like you said, being on this ride and right before, the NFC Championship and potentially the Super Bowl and stuff like that, to get, to be down with your brothers all those, all that time and get to this point and have an injury like that, I'm sure it's definitely heavy on him. So definitely wishing him the best with that. In reference to, trying to complement, like I said, you can't replace him. So to try to offer some type of, stopgap or complement for him. All year it seemed like the adjustments that we've done have actually, kind of panned out. And, whether it's, like you said, moving Wiley into God or Trent being there and then, or whatever they end up doing with Lucas or something like that. I trust that, the staff is going to make the best decision, and I trust that they're going to offer and scheme, chips and, be creative. I feel like outside of, Jayden Carter was in the backfield pretty much a lot the last game. But I feel like, outside of that, we've done pretty well with kind of trying to neutralize other teams' best players. Whether that's, running plays away from them or, adding an extra block or make sure to B-Rob, because B-Rob has been doing a great job as far as pass blocking. Whether that's, have B-Rob stay back and chip before you go out to the flats or anything like that. I don't know what the scheme going to be, but I think that they're going to plan accordingly. But it is definitely, a sore there, and we will notice it, but I think it won't stop us from, being able to win this.
Definitely won't stop us from being able to win this game. Before we even continue to talk about it, I forgot, it slipped my mind. We got to give some credit to Brian Robinson, because boy, was this fan base not all over him for not being, rightfully so. He has not shown up, but last week was the B-Rob that haven't seen since Tennessee, since I was live in attendance, freezing my tail off up there versus Tennessee. That's the last time I seen B-Rob be B-Rob. So to see him back, minus the fourth down mess up, he was outstanding. If we can get that B-Rob back, that's gonna be huge, as you just mentioned. So for me, with Jaylen Carter, because someone did ask this question that we're discussing, is how do we stop Jaylen Carter? I look at him as Saquon Barkley. Like, I don't necessarily expect us to think we're going to completely shut him down, because he's just that good. Like, he's that good. He's going to have some plays in which he disrupts. It's just going to have to be up to, hopefully, Jayden Daniels make some Houdini happen. It's going to just happen to be able to run the football because this Eagles team is known to give it up. Kyron Williams, yes, he fumbled the game away, or Puka Nacua dropped the pass. Tyler Higbee dropped the pass. Like, they messed up. They had time. They had opportunities to win that game. But Kyron Williams ran for over 100 yards. Rico Dowdle, for crying out loud, granted, he had a good year, ran for over 100 yards. This Eagles team is able to be gashed on the ground. So that's, in my opinion, a key to have to limit the success or to limit the danger of Jalen Carter is to run the football at an efficient rate. And Brian Robinson, he runs the ball well against Philly. He just, what can you say, bro? Like, I'm never trying to make excuses for people fumbling the football because you're not supposed to fumble the football, bro. Hold on to that pill. But they made some good plays. Like, sometimes you got to tip your cap. Last time they just made some good plays on Brian Robinson that caused on the fumble the ball. But that doesn't stop me from shying away from it. And y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is correct. Austin Eckler wasn't back during that game. He makes a huge difference. I mean, did y'all not see that play? Yeah, that play against the first game too, but the play last week in Detroit, that big run, like he makes a huge difference. So having the ability to go from B-Rob running them split back sets again, and sprinkling a little bit Mick Nicholson as well, like that allows this run game to flourish and be operating at a proficient level. Like, is it Saquon Barkley level? Hell no. But it gives us enough running game to allow us to operate how our offense normally does. So I feel like a key to not neutralizing Jalen Carter is obviously double team, triple team. As you mentioned, I think to have 4 hands on him at all times and have a third dude chip him on his way out. Like, you cannot allow this dude to have one-on-one opportunities. And then run the ball. Like, I really think this is a Brian Robinson kind of game. I don't know what the weather's like. I don't expect it to snow how it did in LA. But I think there's going to be a game in which we run the ball a lot. But yeah, anything else y'all got to add for that specific key before we move on? Because that was a big question that a lot of people had in the comment section. How do we stop Jalen Carter?
Yeah, I just want to add to that. We got to move the pocket. We got to do boots, waggles, stretch the pocket, make him chase, tire him out. He's 300 and some odd pounds. Like, if you got to chase the whole game, like, you're not going to have that same effectiveness on your bull rushes and things of that nature. Then you come back and you hit him with a trap. You hit him with a counter, you know what I'm saying, in the run game, and kind of like knock him off and stuff like that. But I think that's some of the things we got to do offensively to, necessarily get him off the spot, because he is he's going to be a chore. Obviously one of their best players. And then I feel like what they have, Dean isn't playing, and that's one of their speedier linebackers. So we need to take advantage of that. And it has to be, we have to run the football, and we have to, pop Austin Eckler out of the backfield. Austin Eckler, to me, is going to be pivotal in this game for spelling Brian Robinson. But I was going to say this on Friday on our before the games, our keys to the game. But I feel like this might be a game that you think about dressing Chris Rodriguez, because I feel like he gives you a little bit different look and a little different burst when he comes in the game, and just have all 4 running backs ready to play. And I mean, it's going to take somebody else off the field being active, but that's what we got to do. This is going to be a dirty, grimy game, and if we can neutralize Carter, and we can neutralize Bond at the next level, and not allow number 8 to kind of affect the game, and Gardner Johnson, I think we'll be fine. Quinyon Mitchell is up in the air with him. He had a possible injury last game. I'm not necessarily sold on Cooper DeJean and I'm blanking on the free safety's name. What is his name? Blankenship. So I think that, you can fool them. But those 3 players that I mentioned before, if we can neutralize them, I think we'll be fine with the same things that you said, Juan.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, please don't allow number 8 to affect this game, because I look, CJ Gardner Johnson is the guy that you would love to have on your team, but God damn, you hate playing him. Not because he's just so good, but he does this. Like if you one of them guys and you do this, I can respect it. But bro, some of the plays he be making is just like, but he pisses me off to a different standard just because he's always yapping. But hey, I love it, man, because like the last time he got upset because he got ejected. That's on you, bro. You can't be mad at nobody but yourself. You built up a reputation that now the refs don't have no patience with you. I don't know what you said to Diami Brown to make him react like that, but it had to be that crazy for you to get ejected and Diami's the one to react. You know what I'm saying? So you built up that reputation for yourself to be in the refs' eyes as a menace. Okay, you want that kind of smoke? Well, we're gonna bring it to your front door because 5 is there, and we scored 5 touchdowns when we had 5 turnovers. I don't expect that to happen again. I expect this team to come out and be more careful with the football. Brian Robinson, 2 hands on that ball, man. You know what I'm saying? And as you mentioned, Reedy, that secondary, it don't scare me at all. Yes, Quinyon Mitchell, hell of a player, but I say attack him. Clearly he's questionable. I do think he's going to suit up because he's not missing the NFC Championship game, but clearly he's not 100%. So I say go at him. Cooper DeJean, they're going to be in a 2-high shell. Look, the only way you get him out of that is being able to run the ball efficiently. So if we can establish the run game early, we're going to be able to get some opportunities to have single high coverage and one-on-ones on the outside, and sayonara if that's the case, because Diami Brown gonna be down there somewhere. Turry gonna be down there somewhere. And I think this is a big Zach Ertz game too. Zach Ertz has came on tremendously late down this season, back into the regular season and into the postseason. He is a true difference maker, even at this early of age. And I think he's going to be a big factor into getting them 5-yard, 6-yard, gains through the air, setting up manageable 2nd and 3rd downs. That's going to be huge. Now let's flip it and talk about their offense versus our defense, fellas. Jalen Hurts, again, doesn't scare me. We're the only team that could stop America from having to watch him throw 118 yards in the Super Bowl. So please, let's get this done because nobody wants to see that. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Hurts is a guy that is he struggles to be one of those ones. I don't know what happened to that 2022 Jalen Hurts, but that's not what we're seeing right now. Granted, Jalen Hurts I still respect him as a player, but I don't fear him. I, in fact, think if the only way I say make Jalen Hurts beat us is the only way that I think Philly, you really can tip your cap if they win. Make him be the reason they win. Don't make it easy for Saquon Barkley to go off for 100+ yards. And second game, he had 100 yards in the first quarter, rather. Make Jalen Hurts be the reason that they beat us. He's dealing with a knee injury. Someone said he may have on a brace this week. So I say, blitz him, send some pressure at him, fluster him, do what you did to Jared Goff. The first time that he makes that key mistake, that is going to mess up his mental throughout the whole game, and he's not going to be the same. Although I think he's obviously more mobile than a Jared Goff, but get him off his spot still. I'm telling you, whether it's a fumble, whether it's an interception, an early turnover is going to fluster his mentality. And I think that injury that he sustained is going to be quite something that hold him back, and is going to allow them to have to, lean on more of Saquon Barkley, which isn't a bad idea, because clearly, though, he's one of them guys that is outstanding. But I look at it as this. Look what Jahmyr Gibbs did. Look what he did the second time he played him. He rushed for over 100 yards and had an outstanding game, but we still won because at the end of the day, I think our offense is just that good. So talk to me about how do you slow down this offense of the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts injury, and who are we kidding, bro? How do you slow down Saquon Barkley? That is their offense.
Yeah,
let me take this. You have to maintain your gaps on a defensive line, and you cannot expect to be the guy to make the play on the defensive line. The defensive line is the key to us winning this game. Those 4 guys up front have to sell out. It might be a boring game. You might not get no action, but do your job and allow these linebackers to fill and be untouched. That's how we win this game. What we did in the second half of the Week 16 matchup, we have to replicate that and some. Marshawn Lattimore, lockdown last week. We need another dose of that this week against A.J. Brown. Mikey Sanverstill on the other side. Devontae Smith, you got to lock him down. I'm not worried about if Jahan Dotson beats us, he beats us. I'd rather take those other pieces off the chessboard and worry about these other players that they sub in and things of that nature. But I'm not necessarily really worrying about them. But it's going to be key starting the game. The key person to this game is going to be number 11. Number 11 is going to be the key person in this game. He has to come down and fill and help these linebackers out. And then when Butler gets in the game, worry about playing over top and stop that hook the curl stuff from them getting that off with their tight ends and things of that nature. That would be my key to winning this game. It starts up front in the trenches. This is going to be an offensive line and defensive line game. So depending on how both of those units play is how far we go. If we're going along to the Super Bowl, it's going to come down to them two units, period. No ifs, ands, buts about it. And like you said before, get Jalen Hurts off the spot, hit him, knock him around, push him down, just be a nuisance. Be a nuisance to him. Get him frustrated. Get him outside of his game, stuff like that. Do that stuff that Max Crosby and those other high-end edge rushers and defensive tackles and stuff do. They just keep touching them, keep being a nuisance. And I think we will be fine. I think the offense is the offense, but defensively, like that's the key to the game. Minimize this run game because that is their game. If they can't run the ball, he has shown it in the past that he can pass. Make him a passer. Make him a passer. If he beats us and goes out and throws 300 yards, you got to tip your hat. Congratulations. Y'all deserved it more. But the key is stopping Saquon Barkley in that offensive line and stopping them from getting started and those explosive runs. That's how Saquon killed you, them explosive runs. Cut them explosive runs into 3. I'll take a 3-yard gain, a 4-yard gain. But you can't take a 9, a 10, a 12, a 15, then he going 60. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't do that under no circumstances.
Yeah, you pretty much took everything I was about to say. I definitely was going to talk about gap control. I was definitely going to talk about containing Saquon. And, I mean, if Hurts, wants to run and beat you, then allow it. I mean, he's hobbled, so he ain't going to be able to get far. I'd rather have to worry about Hurts rather than Saquon in the run game. You know what I mean? And definitely, like I was going to say with a reference to Marshawn, Marshawn, definitely, I'm expecting a big game from you. You know what I mean? You're not hobbled as you were the first game. So it's time to step up. And I think if you're able to do that, then Mikey can do his job. You know what I mean? And, Reedy mentioned this the other day, one of the key matchups is to see, how well we can contain Devontae Smith as well. So if we do everything Reedy just said, and then, the things I just mentioned as well, I think we'll, move forward.
Yeah, man. I definitely think Marshawn Lattimore should have a better showing this week, given the fact that this is going to be his 3rd consecutive game. And I definitely feel that A.J. Brown, I'm not going to say he's going to be a non-factor in this game because A.J. Brown still is going to be is still a really good wide receiver. But the fact that they're going to lean so heavily on the run, we still can't, forget they got Devonta Smith, they got A.J. Brown on the outside as some weapons that they can go to. And if I'm being honest, fellas, in the pass game, Dallas Goedert is more of a threat to me than their 2 outside receivers. So if we could find a way to limit his dominance, because it seems like every single week he always gets this little dump down screen type of pass, and then he always takes it 30, 40 yards, stiff arming a guy along the way. Like that just seems like his signature play. If we can find a way to limit his impact through the air, and I don't see us shutting down Saquon Barkley completely, but as you already alluded to, Reedy, like 3-4, I'm taking it. That's a W. In most teams, aspect, like in our case, I'm taking 4-3 yards of Curry. You know what I'm saying? For us, because in a positive light. But flip side, that you hold that to Saquon, that's cool. Because Saquon is a guy, he wears you down. Like he's so good that he has the aspect of doing both. Like, it's always those kind of running backs that has either or. They either have the big explosion play in them, and they're pretty much done, or they have the constant 5, 6, 7 that could wear you down throughout the whole game. He has it all, bro. Like he can do both. He can take it 60 yards to the crib, or he can constantly wear you down for 6, 7, and we cannot allow that. And I know I haven't said this all season long, but I think Jonathan Allen may be back This was his best game that he's played all season long this past week, and having him back in the groove could be a outstanding addition to, you know, shutting down and slowing down Saquon Barkley. It's not a hard task. Like, to me, beating Detroit was the hard task, and we got through them. It's pretty simple to beat Philly. Slow down Saquon Barkley and have double teams on 98. Watch out for Zach Bond, who's a menace. That dude, he's nice, man. It seems like he's always making a play. You limit those 3 guys, in my opinion, obviously a couple others, you should be in for a treat and in for a chance to really make a victory and go to the Super Bowl. Before we get to the comment section, I do want to give a shout out to Reedy and Z for taking time out their day to stop and by on the show. Please go subscribe to those guys and follow them on Instagram. They just crossed 1,000 subscribers, so please congratulate them in the comment section. That is a great milestone, and more is to come. In my Kobe voice, job is not finished, as we still have 2 more victories until we hoist the Lombardi. So let's go ahead and again, I'm gonna look at the comment section, but if you guys got any other key victories, offensively, defensively, we ain't even talked special teams, to be honest, which we really should, because we know that could be a big factor for both teams. And Jake Elliott, his struggles, and then Zane Gonzalez, who still makes me nervous. Like, he's been doing a solid job. Don't get me wrong, but he still makes me nervous. He does not make me comfortable in those spots, and he definitely missed a field goal. Ultimately, did not matter. You let us see those to go through. Ultimately, did not matter. But you would love to see them kicks go through. Now, as far as our special teams guys, man, we gotta be disciplined in our lanes. Cooper DeJean, I'm not gonna say he's known to muff the punt or drop the punt, because conditions did play a factor, but he could put one on the carpet. Vice versa for us, we can't have that, JC. And maybe this isn't for a big return for JC Ice this week, man, because he's always having a nice run back. And Luke McCaffrey on the kick returns, I love Luke McCaffrey there. If you like it, bring it out. If not, take a knee in the end zone, man. I think special teams is a game. This has to be a game where we limit the impact of their special teams and hope for a couple misses, and always, and on the flip side for us, make some plays on special teams. So, do you guys got any more keys you want to add to we already talked about?
No, I would just say just be aggressive. We talked about, you know, attacking, but just be aggressive on offense and defense. And just, you know, I mean, play hard. We got to fight. There is no tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's only tomorrow if we go out and win. So you gotta play like that and think like that. And, you know, if we do that, I think we'll be fine. Yeah,
just to add to that, just leave it all on the field, man. Like, you know, we ain't been scared all day. I mean, all year. Willing to go for it on 4th down. We just gotta come out ready to play, ready to hit these dudes in the mouth, and, you know, let the world know that we are here, because we here. And I think we'll be fine if we just do what we've been doing the last 6-7 weeks. We'll be fine.
Yeah, and before I even forget, before we close out the show with reading some comments, I gotta play this, because they continue to do it, y'all. They continue to give a team that doesn't need it more motivation and more bulletin board material. We had the Bucks fans talking crazy, we had the Lions fans talking crazy, and we seen how that played out. And now we got this. Former Eagles player Seth Joyner.
Jayden Daniels, would you say he is already the 5th best quarterback in football? If the top 4 in whatever order are Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar, and Josh Allen, do you think he's 5?
I don't give any young guy that kind of respect. Show me you can do it from year to year. I'm not giving you that in 1 year.
Even if he beats Eagles?
No, we had, how many times have we had 1-year wonders? You know, so let's wait and see before we start crowning guys. Yeah. He could go completely in the tank next year. And, you know, here we are talking about, you know, what a great rookie year he had. And by the way, they don't stand a snowball's chance in hell of winning here on Sunday. You know that, right? Now, yes. Hey,
I don't think it's that definitive, James, but you said it.
James, make sure you take that and play that all damn week, all right?
Drop of the week.
Why, dude? I guess they don't learn. They don't learn. The first half, if you don't want it, I'm already doing it, and I'm pretty sure this whole fan base is. Jayden Daniels is a top 5 quarterback. But if you want to sit up here and say, oh, wait till next year because we've seen guys have 1-year wonders, have you seen a guy do that? I know C.J. Stroud had a outstanding year, but if C.J. Stroud himself already came out and said, actually, I got the clip. Let me play that right quick. I got it.
Yeah. Man, ooh, that boy going crazy. Like, I'm so happy for that dude. It's not only just for him, like, the motivation he's giving to, like, back home where we come from, like, dude, you have no idea. In my opinion, like, he's had the best rookie year of all time, and, you know, that's what records are meant. They're meant to break. As a person, you know, like, he ain't had it.
So, if you got C.J. Stroud out here, the one that before him, quote unquote, had the best rookie season of all time, he's came in and shattered that. But that's not really where I want to pick at, because that's cool to have that opinion. But again, with this, they don't stand a chance. I get it. You want to hype up your fans. You want to say this, that, and the third about this team. But to not give us a shot, I love it. Continue to count us out. But you're making a big mistake, man. I'm telling you, giving this team more bulletin board material as if we already didn't have enough with Sam Cosmi going down. But to you continue to say stuff like this, I love it, man. What are y'all thoughts on that?
So I would say this, then that goes back to, I don't know if you guys had a chance to see it, but Dan Quinn's presser from today. It's around a 7-minute mark where he basically was saying, like, after the first game, he was pissed at what people were saying. He didn't feel like it was disrespect, but it was like, no, you got to know that. And I'm paraphrasing here, so don't quote me. But he knew that we was going to be better, and we're going to clip that up, and I'm gonna put that on the page, because like that just speaks to this team and their fight, and like nobody's giving us a chance in hell to do anything that we did this year. And for him to say what he said, like, I thought that was just like really powerful, and that spoke to the way this team is fighting and this team is playing. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we can't worry about what they say. They're going to say, they're going to hate. Haters going to hate. Haters going to hate. But hopefully, prayerfully, in 3 weeks, when we hoisting that Lombardi trophy, what they going to say then? What they going to say then? So let's just stay focused, stay in the lane, let the outside noise be the outside noise, and concentrate on the main thing, which is being where your feet are and your assignments and just winning this game. But I would say this to everybody that's on this live, like, yo, just embrace everything. Like, embrace this. Like, this is a beautiful thing for this team and for this organization. And I'm just happy to be a fan of this team, man. Like, it's a long time coming, man. Like, it's worth it, bro. It like in the end, it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just like you said, I don't know why people want to just keep adding fuel and giving us extra motivation. You know what I mean? Because the team's seen it, we see it. It is what it is, and we just gotta use it and as an extra push to go out there and shock the world again. You know what I mean? That's the gist of it, for real, for real. We can't really let it, distract us, but definitely use it to, put a little reminder that nobody believed in us. God did. So it is what it is.
Nah, facts. And I definitely saw that press conference. I actually can't wait to watch the rest, because typically Wednesday is just DQ and 5. But today, with it being special for the NFC Championship, they had DQ, Jayden Daniels, Frankie Louvu, and Terry. So I can't wait to indulge in the rest of those guys. I only caught DQ's presser, but I definitely heard him say, he was a little pissed off early going back to the Tampa game, how they, really wasn't, giving us a shot or saying this about how Washington is what they were at the time. And it's kind of just not disrespectful, but it's like, well, you're not giving us a chance. Cool. It's fine. And then he also talked about, Jayden Daniels and how can he be the first, rookie quarterback to, win a Super Bowl? Because normally the people that came from Mark Sanchez, Sean King, and a couple other quarterbacks that came in, this is their stopping point. This is where the season ends. How can he get over that hump? And he's like, man, we don't really care about that stuff. This guy has an ultimate skill set that's not like no one else. That alone gives us the advantage to go to the next level and get past this hump. So it's just exciting time, man. And I guess we can answer that question. I mean, we already did this whole show, but shout out to the media member for answering that question. It gives us more time to talk about something. How does Jayden Daniels become the first quarterback? Well, I want to say first quarterback to not only win the Lombardi, but let's get past this point, fellas. I mean, specifically talking about him though. Obviously, we talked about the defense, the offense, and stuff like that, but specifically him. How does he add his name into history? Because again, I mentioned Mark Sanchez, Ben Roethlisberger, Sean King. I think it's one more or two more guys that I'm missing off the top of my head. This is normally where it ends. And to add, these guys that made it this far has had top defenses. I mean, you guys are older than me, so I'm pretty sure you remember those seasons vividly. Ben Roethlisberger's rookie season, Mark Sanchez. These guys had number one, and Brock Purdy. That's who it is. Brock Purdy. These guys had number one and number 3 defenses in the league. Jayden Daniels is doing this solely off of him. Our defense is ranked, 18, 16, somewhere around there. How does he get past this supposedly ending point for a rookie quarterback?
I say, man, Jayden been locked in all year. You know what I mean? And like you said, if he continue to remain like he got that silent dog. He let his game show. He don't do much talking. You know, he stay level headed. I think if he just remains as that, you know what I mean, it could just continue to show more and more. I mean, the opportunity is going to be there for him to, the biggest opportunity there is to lead this team to Super Bowl. And then after that, you know what I mean, you go out there and you win that Super Bowl, you're the first rookie to ever do it. So, you know what I mean, I think he knows that in the back of his mind, and he's going to do whatever it takes to, to push for that. And, you know what I mean, as long as he, I have no, like the other day, Cam Newton was talking about don't chase ghosts. And everybody kept saying, like, Cam, he ain't chasing no damn ghosts all year. So, you know what I mean, it's no point of even worrying about stuff that ain't even in his character. He just, he gonna lock in. And I think that going out there and leading that he's already stamped himself big time. Turning it around from this was a 4-win team, and turning it around where we are now. It just shows his impact. But going out there and winning that Super Bowl is definitely going to separate himself, and he's gonna be, out there alone until somebody else do it. But he'll be the first.
I mean, I think he has already solidified his legacy and his mark on history as it relates to a rookie. He can be the first to start a Super Bowl, in year one. But just continue to be him. Do what's got him thus far. Don't do nothing outside of that. Like, the kid got ice water in his veins. Like, he's unbothered. He's nothing affects him. Like, that is a good attribute to have, especially at the quarterback position. And all of the stuff that's going, like, people don't realize how detailed playing quarterback is, period. You have to know what everybody is doing on the field, all 11, not one of 11, all 11. Then you still got to worry about yourself, and then you got to not listen to the outside noise of the crowd, this and that. Just keep the main thing, and I think he's fine. Like, he's just, I've never seen nothing like it. And I seen him all. I seen the Roethlisberger. I remember his rookie year. I remember the Andrew Luck, how they glazed Andrew Luck and said he was this, he was that. I remember Cam Newton. I remember all of them in recent memory in the last 20, 25 years. So to me, his legacy is solidified already. Just keep doing what he's doing. And, the guy, his faith, his belief is just like, and that's what I said on our show last week. Like, belief is a powerful thing. If you believe that you can do something, you may not have the talent, you may not have the ability, but you can do it. Like, belief is a powerful thing. Belief, motivation is a powerful thing. So that's my opinion on that take.
No, yeah, definitely. And let me go ahead and put the channel in the comment section. Here you go. Make sure you guys sub up Reedy and Z. Again, thank them for taking time out their day to stop by and chop it up with your man Juan Gotti as we preview the Washington Commanders NFC Championship game. But there was another comment too, fellas, that was kind of along those lines. Someone said it was funny because I was in the gym earlier and I saw a kind of TikTok that was alluding towards this. But a guy had randomly just made a TikTok. He was like, bro, he's like, if I'm Jayden Daniels and I win a Super Bowl, I'm retiring because can't nobody say nothing to me. Like, I'm rookie year, I win the Super Bowl. Like, sure, I didn't want to play again, but what can you say? I literally done it. Nobody could talk to me. So it was just a little funny. I may post it here on the channel. But then someone kind of alluded to that earlier. And I know it's kind of may sound crazy to say, but just think about it for a second. If Jayden Daniels wins a Super Bowl this year, is he already in the Hall of Fame?
I mean, as much as we would want to think,
we gotta relax. We doing too much.
Let me see if I can find a comment.
But to go back to your point,
here you go. Yeah, go ahead.
About what people were saying, and I kind of was upset at the Dan Orlovskis and the Cam Newtons and the Stephen A's of the world and thought they was glazing and just. But now I understand what they're saying. They're saying he is great. He has exceeded every expectation, thought, and some. But like you said, he could be a 1 year wonder. I don't think he's a 1 year wonder, but just for the optics of it, you cannot put him above guys that have done it at a high level for multiple seasons. So I understand that point. Do I think he's going to do it multiple seasons? Absolutely, and some. But I get the point now that they can't put him in that conversation because these guys have paid their dues per se and have done it for multiple seasons. So that's basically all they're waiting for is when he does it next year or the year after that, then consistently he will be considered. He's already considered a top 5 quarterback in this league. So yeah.
Yeah, man, definitely. I knew it was a funny topic to say because I know it's 1 year you can't put him in the Hall of Fame discussion, but it tickles the mind a little bit because it's like, bro, nobody's ever won a Super Bowl in their first season. If he does, he's not going to be in the Hall of Fame, obviously, but I don't know if that may be a record that lasts for a long time. Maybe even after we leave this earth, that may still be like something that doesn't get broken for a very long time. Because again, put it into the perspective, especially how hard that is to win a Super Bowl as a rookie quarterback in his first year, and you're like the main reason for it to be like that. It doesn't change. I mean, it definitely goes down in history. Brent Collins says prices dropping for the Philly tickets. Okay, that's interesting because I ain't gonna lie, I found myself looking at tickets. I don't know why, because the Bucks game, the tickets was like normal game prices. Like it wasn't like nothing spiked because of playoff game. So I don't know why I myself thought the link would be different. I mean, the same. Man, them jokes was starting at what, like $1,500, like I think for SeatGeek or something like that, or was it Ticketmaster I was on? But to hear that they're dropping low, that is definitely good for the people that plan on being in attendance for that game. We definitely need a big turnout at the link on Sunday. Let's see. Says fans be cocky writing checks on their team that they can't cash. I love it because the crash out afterwards. Oh yeah, we thought Detroit. They had Detroit fans fighting on the sidewalk out there, man. If you think that was something, imagine the crash out for these Philly fans. Y'all know how they sports town is. They do not take losing. And these are the same fans that was ready to fire Nick Sirianni after like what, week 4, week 5. So imagine them losing the NFC Championship at their home. I can't wait for it, man. We need it desperately because that is gonna. I'm telling you, I didn't really indulge in a lot of Lions content after we beat them because I mean, like the one guy that I did collab with, he was cool. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like trying to troll or like look at these guys' YouTube channels, I really didn't do too much of it. A little bit, but not as much. If we beat the Eagles, I already got 10 different content creators that I be looking at from time to time that I'm ready to go watch them explode and yell. I love it. I cannot wait for it to happen, man. It's definitely going to be a great feeling. But as we wind down for Reedy and Z, actually, I think that's where we're gonna cut it off for them. Let them continue with their day. I appreciate y'all, fellas, for stopping by again, taking time out your day and your busy schedules to chop it up with your man Gotti for roughly about an hour, almost 2. Any last words you guys for the people out there? Let them know what you can find them, and obviously, all that good stuff.
Yeah, man. Like, share, subscribe at Reedy and Z on all platforms. As we always say, man, we just two diehard fans that love this team. We from the city. So and we just locked in. Season ticket holders for multiple stints, multiple years. So with us, and it's up. And thank you, Juan, for having us on the show. Pleasure. You always welcome back on our show anytime. We like you said, we've been watching from afar, so we've been excited to finally connect and lock in with you. And we bros. So just hit us up whenever, and likewise we gonna do the same. But again, we appreciate you. And to all the fans, man, just don't lose hope. You gotta believe, because we got an opportunity right here. We're on the cusp of something great. So stay locked in.
Yeah, lastly, I just want to say to everybody out there that's watching this, like don't even indulge with the back and forth with them. Just let the game do the talking. And let the game be the talk. Let them talk, and then let them crash out after the game. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But like Z said, man, it's an honor to be on. It was a great time, man. Looking forward to doing it again. Feel free to hop over and let us know when you want to come back on. I got some things in the work. I'm the kind of the scheduling guy, so definitely be on the lookout for things coming in the future. But yeah, thanks, man, for having us on.
Definitely. Hey, man, don't hesitate. Go ahead and plug that great, clothing brand for the people out there, man. Let them know y'all got the new drops coming out, man. Let them know about that as well.
Yeah, no question. Appreciate that. It's a great clothing line, clothing brand. We've been around for about 7, going on 8 years. So we are at Great Clothing Line on all platforms as well. And right now we doing custom jackets. We do custom apparel. We have our own drops as well, but we do a lot of customs for individuals, organizations, teams, schools, whatever such. So if you tap in with us, we can we doing right now. It's very popular item is the custom varsity jackets we doing for fans. So you're a Commanders fan, you want a custom, you can get your name on it. You can design it from top to bottom. So shoot us a DM, and we'll connect with you. We can send you the custom order form link, and we'll go from there. But tap in with us. You can DM at Reedy and Z, or you can DM at Great Clothing Line, which is in the form of GR8 Clothing Line. So yeah,
yes, sir.
Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Hey, I appreciate y'all for stopping by, man. Thank you so much for having me on your platform again. And we definitely are going to lock in very, very soon. Y'all have a blessed one. Stay safe out there, and enjoy the rest of y'all day, fellas.
Yeah, you too. Bro, and one last thing. Hell to 'em.
Hell to the Commanders. Peace. Shout out to Reedy and Z for taking time out their day to stop by and chop it up with your man Gotti as we preview this game. I am going to stick around for a little bit longer. So if y'all got any questions that you guys want to talk about, answer any questions you got for me, leave it down below. He says, are we here to worship my Dallas Cowboys? Hey, look, man. Your Dallas Cowboys, they on the couch right now, man. You know what I'm saying? Keeping that spot warm for the Philadelphia Eagles for us, man. Do that for me, okay? That's one thing that I'm asking for you, man. Rudy, keep that seat warm for the Philadelphia Eagles. You know what I'm saying? Do that for us. Gary says, yo, son, the Eagles are going to win. You think so, huh? Hey, look, I ain't mad at you for being confident in your fellas. But nah, man, y'all going down on Sunday, man, and you gonna see my Commanders on top. Prayingfully, hopefully that is the case. That my Commanders come out on top. But shout out to you, Uptown Dre. Uptown Dre says, salute, comrades, great content, and keep prospering. Is that my man Uptown Dre from a long time ago? I feel like I haven't seen your name. If you the same Uptown Dre that used to be on the channel, I feel like I haven't seen your name in a minute, bro. If you're still the same Uptown Dre, I'm not sure though. Shout out to you. Thank you, Donna B. Their link is in the description down below. So make sure y'all check them out as well. Reedy and Z, great content over there. Let's see what else. What other comments do we have? He says if we can control the time of possession like we did versus the Lions and Bucks games, we can win. Definitely. Look, and even if we don't control the time of possession, man, we're just that talented on this team, offensively specifically, where that isn't going to be that big of an issue. You know what I'm saying? We're definitely going to have opportunities to strike back. We're going to have opportunities to get stops on this defense, man. So definitely control the time of possession. But this team, even if we can't do that, I think we'll be good. General X says the Eagles are too skilled. Saquon Barkley, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, Zach Bond, Jalen Carter, they got some dogs on that side of the field. But Washington does as well on this side too, man. We got some dogs on this side as well. So let's go ahead and read some more comments before we get up out of it. Please minimize the big exactly. And really the big plays that we're speaking of is the Saquon Barkley runs. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the bulk of their big plays is the Saquon Barkley runs, the Kenneth Gainwell 15, 20-yard curries. Like they really aren't a team that scares you through the air, especially with the Jalen Hurts that's going to be hindered. Gonna have a knee brace on potentially. He doesn't scare you from a throwing standpoint, especially being banged up. So it definitely comes with the Saquon Barkley run plays. Limit him again. You're not gonna be able to stop him. You're not gonna be able to shut him down, but limit the plays that Saquon Barkley provides for you. He says these Philly fans are nervous. I see Philly fans being cocky right now. I see Philly fans. You saw the video clip that I played from the radio host. I see them being mighty cocky right now, man. So if they are nervous, man, I mean, hey, look, let's go ahead and have a good one on Sunday. 2 backs and a lot gun and pistol. Definitely with Austin Eckler being back, this game is going to be huge. It's going to be huge, man. I can't wait for it. And I'm excited, man. Let's see what else. That may be all the comments that we have for the night or for the day. Don't forget tonight I will be going live on the channel around like 8:15ish with the fellas, Ed Oliver and Street Scores. Man, they're so kind enough to stop by once again to chop it up about the Washington Commanders and this team as we head into the NFC Championship, man. So again, don't be scared or hesitating to check us out tonight. Rico, Juan Gotti, and Ed Oliver on the channel at 8:15. Says, hey yo, Juan, what it do? What's going on, David Sanchez? How you doing, man? Appreciate you. Shout out from LA. Shout out to LA holding it down out there, man. As we know, prayers out to LA. Hopefully they're recovering well after the big wildfires there. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully your family's safe, and hopefully your whole city is preparing and repairing. And prayers out for you and your city. And hopefully we win the bowl for you, man. Whoever holding it down from LA. Injury reports tomorrow. Okay, cool. Again, it's gonna be big not really, because I expect him to play, but it's gonna be interesting to see Quinyon Mitchell. What's his status like? Obviously Jalen Hurts and his status, but I expect all of them guys to play, but they're not gonna be 100%. So we got to find ways to attack them and use that to our advantage. Obviously, one big injury with us is Sam Cosmi. He's obviously out for the season due to a torn ACL. Later today. Okay, later today. Okay. Yeah, we'll see. Wednesday's typically the rest day for anything, if anything. So I think we pay more attention to Thursday, Fridays, where it's going to tell the story, if anything. David Sanchez, yes, sir. 323 in the building. Shout out to LA, man. Again, hopefully we win it all for LA, man. It's a lot of fans in LA, Commanders fans. Well, there's a lot of Commanders fans everywhere, but LA specifically, man, is where we're holding it down from. So hopefully we definitely can continue that. Let's see here. What other comments we got? Just keep Eck on short routes. That man moves the chains exactly. You know what I'm saying? And then the big gash through the middle too. You know, versus Detroit, he's a difference maker, and that's the guy that we didn't have the last time he played Philly. So he makes a huge difference. He makes a huge difference, bro. He makes a huge difference. Let's see. Let's see. He says great clothing line. Yes, ma'am. That's their brand. Go ahead, check them out. A great clothing line. Reedy and Z. You can check them out. You can DM them and get customized merch. I might gotta go ahead, cough that money up and go give me a customized one Gotti something. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to them, man. Appreciate them for stopping by. And thank y'all for rocking out with me. This is my longest live stream in a minute. So I appreciate y'all for rocking out with me. And don't forget, tonight, 8:15 p.m., I will be live on the channel with the fellas, with the heavy hitters, Rico and Ed Oliver, holding it down for the Burgundy and Gold. So I'll see y'all a little bit later. Y'all have a blessed one. Stay safe. Be easy out there. Hail to the Washington Commanders. See y'all later. I'm out. Peace.